Hey everyone, the mosquitoes are crazy right now, so I want to try and make this video as quickly as possible. This is now the fourth retake, and the mosquitoes are getting worse. So this is the end of my birthday week. Sunday did not go according to plan. The plan was to wake up, eat some breakfast, relax, come out to the pole barn, attempt a couple PRs, and then go out to eat something nice, right? But it didn't happen because when I walked in this door, I had an unpleasant surprise yet again. There was a bird right in this light, right here. It had built a nest. Now the problem with this isn't that it built a nest. It's that the bird had built a nest this spring, and we didn't take it down because it had a couple eggs in there. And we said, you know what, we're going to let these eggs grow. And everything was covered in poop. Right here on this deadlift platform, this entire area was covered in poop. Look, you can still see, we've mopped it, we've scrubbed it. It's still in there. But we waited, and 2 weeks ago, I was in here warming up on the overhead press, and all of a sudden the birds started going everywhere. There were 3, and they were big. Okay, the nest was about like this, and the baby birds were about like that. So one flew over there to the stones and got trapped, and that one was hilarious because Glenn went over there and picked it up in his hand like he was a Disney princess, and he went like this. And the bird flew off and left a big piece of poop on his hand. It was glorious. But then another one just went whack right into that window. I thought it killed itself, but after being momentarily dazed, we got it out of the pole barn. And then we cleaned everything. We mopped it all, we swept it all, and Glenn took down the nest. And it was hilarious because all of a sudden he just drops the nest and goes, ah! And there were mites all over his hands, and he was just freaking out. And that whole day, he's talking about crawling, and he's just freaking out. But it was great. But it came back to try and have more babies, and we're done with the poop. So what happened, you can look up here. Those of you who have seen the pole barn a lot of times will notice this is new, because this has been open space the whole time. And we originally put cage in over here, but I put a board there too. And so suddenly my, hey, let's relax and try and set a PR became, let's do work. But that wasn't all we did. No, because that would have been too easy, right? Because the people who owned this house, when they built the soffit, they cut it too short, okay? So now you can see the soffit, it's not perfect, but I used what they had and had to get a new piece and put it up there so birds can't get in. But no, that wasn't good enough either, because this fence, it broke in a storm like a year ago, and it's just been sitting up against the pole barn. And I said, you know what, we're gonna put the fence together. So we put in the fence post, and yeah, it ended up being a whole day project. So I did, in the middle of doing all this stuff, while I was super irritated, say, let's try and do a PR. And it didn't go very well. Nope, not at all. But I wanted to show you guys this. I posted a couple of pictures. Hopefully it comes in kind of good. That's the waterfall. I got some more dirt I got to put in. But we started building that last year when my rheumatoid arthritis started. Didn't work so well. But I'm going to take you guys on a trip as soon as my camera person can keep up. She's a little slow. She can't walk and record at the same time.
I'm trying.
So we have had non-stop flooding, just ridiculous amounts of rain, and where we're standing right now has been underwater every rainstorm. So this culvert, which we had to replace the side last year and rebuild all this, it washed away again. We had to get more dirt.
Washed away twice.
More dirt. But our roast came back.
Wow, they're pretty.
And this is the pond. So we haven't been able to do any algae treatments or anything because every time it rains, the pond goes over there. And the next door neighbor comes over here. Let's see if we can get some shots of the waterfall. I'll come over here. This is my apple tree that fell over, and now it's a beautiful archway to the back, where the mosquitoes live. Come on, camera lady. You can do it. Oh,
It's a turtle.
A That's a turtle.
Oh
Why are
no.
the mosquitoes trying to eat the turtle?
Is it
What are you
dead?
doing, turtle? He's just chilling.
Oh, he's alive. I just saw him move.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
It's like I got a shell. I don't care.
Oh, there's a frog. Oh, look at all that foam.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's new.
Yeah, that is new. There's a good shot of the waterfall. Got a good shot of the waterfall there.
This burn pile is just never going away. It was about this tall, and now it's about this tall. And we're still not done. But I ran out of rocks, guys. Okay, so you can kind of look at this now. And see the flowing. But all these rocks, these big ones, are over 100 pounds. The little ones are obviously less than that. But I was supposed to be taking a deload, and instead, we got to move rocks.
Drive! Woohoo!
Cramps everywhere.
Woohoo!
Wow. Well, that's technically a PR for me.
Job. Push! Woo!
So there you have it. I didn't set any lifetime PRs, but my overhead's kind of back to where it was, and everything else still, I told Glenn before I started, I think I've got 2 more months before I'm actually back to being able to legitimately set a PR, but that's not the goal. I'm not going to test PRs again until probably December, if then. I've got the competition that I'm still debating whether or not I want to do. But some good news that I wanted to talk about before you guys all stop paying attention, well, that's assuming you guys haven't already stopped this video, It has been 2 months since my last blood test, and I wanted to give you guys an update because I started changing my diet around to deal with my cholesterol. So my numbers before I went on this diet, everything except for triglycerides was high, and my HDL was barely past the minimum. So in 2 months, my total cholesterol is now down to 194. Now that is the first time that I have blood work going back to 2009 that my total cholesterol has been below the number, and I'm not taking any pills or anything. It's just through food. My HDL is 42, which actually dropped one. So I'm going to have to start adding some good fats. I'm thinking olive oil is going to be my first attempt at trying to get that number up because I really don't like avocados. My LDL went from 142 to 131. So we're really close to that 130 mark, which is what my doctor wants me to aim for. But that's the closest I've ever been. I mean, I was up well in the over 150 to like 170 before the first diet, and my cholesterol to HDLC ratio has improved. My non-HDL cholesterol is actually in the limit, so they wanted it below 160. It is now 152. So for 2 months of just eating some stuff that I read, like how to lower cholesterol and how to do some stuff, it worked quite well. So I'm interested to see where it ends up, because when I went to get the blood test, I just ended up taking a day off to do a bunch of yard work and work on the waterfall and try and repair some stuff. The lady taking my blood said 2 months isn't enough time. Like, you need at least 3 months to see any sort of positive change. And I said, you know what, just check it. I wanted to get it checked. I'm here. Go ahead and pull it because I haven't eaten anything and I want to see where I'm at. So my triglycerides are still good. They were at 104. So that's well within the good range. And I am really looking forward to starting the diet, but I've got at least 1 more month to go. I'm really wanting to see how far down I can get after this whole reverse dieting process. So if you saw my weight there, I weighed in at 241. I've been hovering between 240 and 243 basically, except for on the weekends. I'm really not being super strict with my weekends. I've been doing going out to buffets and stuff like that. And so how well I've maintained my weight is pretty good. I wanted to max go up to 245. So I'm still under what I set as my I don't want to pass. And we took out the tape measure. My belly is actually still 43. So that's what it was the very last day of my diet. So when I got to my smallest, I was at 43 with no food in my belly, and we measured my belly when I had had a full day of eating, and it was still 43. So it might even be less than that if I had been eating. So I am starting to see some muscle come back into my shoulders, into my triceps. So that's a good sign. The strength, I've got a little bit more to get back in there. The deadlift especially is really far off. But the bench I was really surprised in. So we've been doing some like kind of light to moderate bench work for the last, 2.5, 3 months. And the most we had ever done was, I think one time we just went, add 20 pounds, keep going. And we did 285. I did it for a double. It might have been a triple, but I think it was a double. Glenn definitely got it for a triple. And, I was like, hey, let's just see it. And I did 300, and I should have taken a jump. I should have seen if I could have done 310 or 315, but Glenn really wanted to try and set a max. So he put 320 on the bar, and I was like, oh, okay, let me try it. And it didn't go too well. But really, that's a lot better than I thought it'd be, especially having not trained bench consistently for a very long time. This is the first time that we've really had bench in the schedule at all since 2014. We did like 2 or 3 months in 2015, but no, there has not really been benching. And I think I really need to start incorporating more, even though it's uncomfortable, just to try and get some tricep work in. So, what I've noticed is where my weak points were versus where they are now have completely shifted. So, my overhead press, I used to be really weak off the shoulders and then really strong in the triceps. Now it's the exact opposite. You saw that 210, I got it to here super easy and then I failed. And so my triceps are weak, my shoulders are strong. On the deadlift, the bottom is where I'm struggling with right now, where it always used to be, I always could get it to my knees and then I couldn't necessarily lock it out. So everything switched. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if that's a good problem or a bad problem, but I want to have no parts be my weakness. That's the goal. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for checking it out. Go lift something heavy.